I have patients that get on these products and they get a 20% credit towards whatever they want to buy. They wind up going online and they can check other things that we have, whether it's skincare, personal care, CoQ10, the Reishi that I mentioned, so many other, like 300 different products. Their amount that they expend goes up by about double. Then they share it with their friends, and it's a nice business model. One of the objections that I have from people that I talk to is this money thing. And I say just simply get over it. If you believe that you're giving your patient the best possible answer to their needs, then it's not about the money. It's about what you're giving them. I tell my patients, I spend your money like it's mine, I spend your time like it's mine. You should be doing the same, otherwise you shouldn't be practicing medicine.
Just got a side note really quick when we talked about these doctors making money. Just a last experience. David, you know where I'm going with that. So we go in, we meet with a group of urologists. And as I'm sitting there waiting for the urologist, and I see they've got up in the little, waiting room, they've got Latisse, the little eye thing. And they had all this little stuff, and I'm thinking, oh, isn't that cute? Hey, look at that. So they'll be really easy. They'll be open. He's already thinking about, selling. So we sit down, we go through the meeting, and they, put us through the usual, science. Okay. Thing is, once you get into the business, they get over the science a lot quicker. Guess what their biggest hang-up was? They don't want to sell. We can't be making money off the patients. So I was really excited. At that point, I said, awesome. Does that mean I can get some Latisse on the way out? So, docs, you know what? If you think about selling, like David said, get over yourself. Think about your patients first.
The next thing we like to do is actually my favorite part because I get to sit down again. We're going to bring up 4 doctors here. We're going to bring up Ben Gonzalez, Belia Jackson, Sandy Kaufman, and David Feld. Come on down.
Come on down.
Latisse.
By the way, they didn't give me any, okay?
Yeah.
I'm a little upset about
What
that.
got to do with urology?
A diverse collection of people you won't find any place this side of the city. Belia is a pediatrician, Ben, internal medicine, trauma, plastics type guy. Sandy does optometry, and David is an OBGYN. What I'd like to start with Belia, and what I want to do is ask you to try to remember this, because I'm going to forget. Tell us your name, where you practice and what you do, what intrigued you to get involved with this, and what did you find was the biggest impact for your patients so far? So, name, where you're from, what you do, why you got involved to begin with, and how it's helped your people that you take care of.
My name is Belia Jackson. I'm a pediatrician and I work in Pembroke Pines. And for question, why I got into this, nutrition. I love nutrition, and I try to have everybody to eat well and healthy in my office. And I deal at home, I deal wherever I go, nutrition. I'm against everything that has diet or non-fat. So that's when, Alexandra Baker came to my office, she brought me the scanner, and I love it. I was measuring all the antioxidants levels, and I was measuring, and it correlates 100%. I know what the kids are eating. It's a nutrient lie detector, 100%. I have family members with 4 or 5 kids. They eat junk, they eat good, and it's exactly what the mommy says is what is going to happen. The other thing that I like it was the business, and I feel the same like you feel. I drive every morning with my heart, like what I'm doing right. I'm now into business, I'm charging, I'm selling, but I love the business with a lot of passion. I'm getting very, very into, I love Nu Skin, I love Pharmanex, and it's going to give me something that I want. It's free. I want free time, I want extra time to spend with my husband, with my kids, with my friend, with my parents. And that's another thing that I'm looking, and it's going to come very, very soon.
Excellent. And I Alexandra's like a nutritional specialist that found you on a, what? How did she find you?
No, Alexandra, she's not a nutritionist. She's like Kathy. Some, you know, nobody doctors.
Nobody. Nobody. We just look for somebody. That's all.
So Alexandra saw this as a business entity, approached someone who's into health, who validated it as health, and is grateful for what it's done for herself and her practice. Ben.
Hello, I'm Ben Gonzalez. I'm the medical director and founder of Atlantis Medical Center, Silver Spring, Maryland, near the DC area. I'm a retired active duty military guy. 24 years in the military. I spent the last 12 years teaching medicine at Walter Reed Army Medical Center, and also teaching it. And then also taught at Hershey Penn State Medical Center. And I was first approached by the scanner by Steve. I immediately recognized the science. I immediately recognized what he was talking about as far as the science. And I got it simply for one thing and one thing only, for my patients, to evaluate, to get a good screening for my surgical patients that I have and for my primary care patients. And it worked very, very well. I got in the way of myself. The first year and a half of this, Steve's big old smile will start popping up when because he knows this and he saw it in me. Todd saw it in me. I got in the way of myself because all I cared about was just that, was the screening tool that the scanner was. I didn't care about the business. As a plastics guy, of course I know about selling. But not selling isn't something that wasn't needed. And in fact, the scanner, before I even placed a patient on the scanner, it was much more than just the value of the number. Before I even placed a patient on the scanner, it was a lie detector test for me. How many of you physicians, doctors out there ask your patients, well, how many fruits and vegetables do you eat a day? Oh, I eat 4 to 5. And then you believe them, 4 to 5, which is half of what they should be in the first place. But as soon as I ask that question, then I say, oh, guess what? I have a marker. I have something that I can actually test this. Oh, except for last night, I didn't do so well. Well, this actually tells me how you've been doing over here 3-4 months. Exactly. Those of you who have a scanner know exactly what I'm talking about.
It becomes a confessional. That's what I call it.
And then when I say, well, actually, this tells me how you've been doing over the last 3 or 4 months, and I hear, oh, it wasn't a good season for me.
How did that help you treat the surgical patients so they get better quickly?
Immediately I recognize, before I even place a patient on the scanner, it was a powerful tool. After I place the patient on the scanner, it's even more powerful. Because now I make every single one of my surgical patients, and my wellness patients, my weight loss patients, all my primary care patients, I make them all get on the scanner, and then it changes my direction. And it changes very easily on how I can provide good advice based on this screening tool, this biomarker. And so I make every single one of my surgical patients take the life pack, not only get scanned, but take the life pack nano to bring their scores up if they're below. I make them do it. If they choose not to go on the product, I choose not to operate. That's how powerful, and you're hearing this. You're hearing this from a guy who is very straightforward, military, research background, genetics background, nutrition background. It works or it doesn't work. And I know that's not always a good way to think, but that's how this scan became.
I want to make an analogy. David, if you were doing an intra-abdominal procedure and you required preventative antibiotics for right before they had the procedure and they said no, would you do the surgery? Electively.
Here's the door. And that's exactly what I tell my patients. And then to take it the next step further, last August, exactly a year ago from this week, my accountant comes up to me and he smacks me in the back of the head. Boom! He said, you've had this scanner for over 18 months. You need to start paying attention to the business side of things. He said, at that time, last August, the revenue that I was generating from the scanner passively was matching my payroll for my staff. And then when I started paying attention, that's when, and I started following the advice of the mentors, Todd Shapiro, Steve Moore, and all my colleagues. I started following their advice. then I realized, and I didn't realize the reality of the business came to fruition, and the revenue more than doubled and increased ever since. And so that's, and, you know, going through the ups and downs like everyone else does in the business, and that's where I stand.
Thank you.
My name is Sandy Kaufman. I'm an optometrist. I've been practicing in Boynton Beach, Florida for a long time. And Steve, no, I will not tell you my age. I'm old enough to know better.
I'm 74.
Okay.
The products work great.
Yeah, the products are working.
At the time I was looking, my patients were asking me about supplements and stuff for the eyes, and I said, you know, I can't give you a recommendation. I'm not going to recommend something just because a company says it's good and they can't validate it. I'm not going to recommend it. At about that time, a couple of years back, my primary care doctor had the scanner in his office. So I was going in for a pre-op for a back problem I was having, and he measured me, and I measured low. And I looked at that and I said, no, try the other hand. I don't believe it. So we measured the other hand. I still came out low. I was taking, if anybody heard about a nature bee, it's all over the sports shows. It's potentiated bee pollen, supposed to be the greatest thing since sliced bread. Wrong, because I was in the 20s. Okay, so so then I decided, I went to his house that night. I said, I got to see this. I want to know more about it. And the more I looked at it, I got wowed. And now I've been using it in my patients. My patients, I'm very technology orientated. And my patients are saying, wow, they have a competition when I do families. But I want to tell a quick story about the product. I don't even know if you know this. I mean, yeah, I guess you know this. At the time I was going in for a back problem, I had a lesion in my back. It was pressing up against my nerves, and I would turn, I'd get severe sciatic, and I would crumple up. So I went down to Jackson Memorial, had the lesion removed, came back, was out a month, and at the time I said, Steve, send me everything you got on Pharmanex. I want it all. And he did. I had a month to do nothing but read. And when I got back to work about a month later, after I recuperated, I started getting the pain on the other side. I said, this isn't sciatica, this is something like sticking a fork in me. So then I started, I'm not proud of this, I started popping Vicodin, acetaminophen, Aleve. I was mixing cocktails, Flexor patches, of course my creatine level was terrible. And my doctor friend said to me, Sandy, he said, now look, you're putting a scanner in, you've done all this reading, you've had a month. Why didn't you take, are you on the product? I said, no. It's a typical patient. He said, what's wrong with this picture? I said, well, I have no argument. I ordered it. This is a true story. Within 10 days, the pain went away. The Flexor packs, the Vicodin, the acetaminophen, everything I was mixing was gone. And I've never had a day's trouble since then. So yes, I'm a big believer in the product, in the science-based part of the technology.
Did OBGYN too many years, and I want to admit, never believed in any of the prenatals I gave out, but it was standard of care, so we gave it out. And my belief went through the roof. Never supplemented. I had a patient the other day said, you never take supplements. I do now, and every morning, put my hand on that scanner, see where I'm at. Stress is the killer.
I'll never tell you this again, but speak louder.
Oh, wow. All righty then. Move over, guys. Give me a break.
You sit down.
So Kathy ran me down, literally ran me down. I'd seen the product, was on it, and we went out for a run and said, why wouldn't you do this? And I really didn't have a good answer. But you have to do the research. And there was a slide up there before that Stephen showed. That slide's missing from medical schools. And that slide is the slide of the cell. I have a picture of the cell on my desk. I have props. I have my nano, I have my vitality, I have my PDR, I have my props. And one of the props is the cell member. The doctors got to get over themselves. They are just pimps for the pharmaceutical industry. I don't know what it is about it, but they're so used to writing prescriptions. And certainly we need prescriptions. I mean, the best birth control pill that I give out is the lowest pill that's ever been made. And I have that on my desk. And I say I have 3 great products for you. If it's the time that you need it, it's prevention, birth control pill, prevention, and performance. Life Pack Nano prevention, and vitality, performance. But what's really incredible, first of all, the science behind it. You know, you have 100 full-time PhD scientists number one anti-aging. When I say anti-aging, I mean anti-disease. And
What have you
doctors,
seen in your patients?
doctors are going to get it, and patients aren't going to get it. And
What have you seen?
what I've done in the last 5.5 years with KP's help, we've broken some records and we've done some really good things. And I've been able to get, because men come to me now as well, even though I'm an OB-GYN, they put their hand on that scanner, they want something. I get them off of their blood pressure medicine, their cholesterol medicine, diabetes medicine. I put cystic acne vulgaris in remission. I put psoriasis in remission, eczema, fibromyalgia. There is a direct correlation, anybody didn't get this yet, between the amount and levels of antioxidants, the amount of fruit and vegetable servings, and disease. We live in a very dirty country. Last month in the Sunday Post, if you are emigrating to this nation, you're going to have more money, but you're going to die younger with more disease. We're supposed to be the healthiest country in the world, and we're not. So doctors got to do a better job. Our passion is to get into the schools, to get into doctors, and the more that we can spread the word, and we need more scouts like you guys out there and you women out there, the better we can do it.
My new friend, Dr. Montserrat, is going to introduce herself. Tell you why she got involved in this and what she's doing in her practice.
Hi, good evening. My name is Montserrat Rodriguez. I'm a doctor. I'm a specialist in internal medicine and gastroenterologist, but I'm practicing here in the United States as a nutritionist. And I did that because of a life experience change that I suffered when I decided to get more into the preventive medicine than, the curative medicine, and it was amazing. I'm also a host in a radio show here in Sirius XM, and I have a lot of, followers for whatever I say in my show. It's named Cuerpo y Figura, it's in Spanish, and it's always related with health and, weight loss and a lot of good things. So the thing is, one day, one person called me. I was talking about antioxidants, and she told me, "Are you Dr. Montserrat?" Yes, I am. Okay, I listened to you in the radio, and I think you need something that I have to present you or to show you. She didn't tell me anything about the scanner or everything else, and she said, "Can you talk to me? Can you give me an appointment?" And I said, "Okay." And she came with Lawrence, and when they showed me the scanner, I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna do it, but if I do not have good results, please don't tell anybody that I'm a fake nutritionist." Because, oh my God, it's going to be a huge scandal. Fortunately, I took the test and I passed it in the blue zone, but not in the best of the line. So immediately I got involved with all the company, the scanner, the health care packages, and immediately I started to work with it. My practice was like, upside down completely, in the good sense. Everybody was coming, everybody was asking for the scanner. Practically all the products that I got at the beginning, I sold out in less than a week. Everything. People was coming into my office, "What is that? I want that." I don't even need to talk about that. So I really fell in love with the company immediately, and I recommend, widely to every single doctor, not only in this area, but in any other office or area, or if you know them, please recommend it, because it's a wonderful tool that can confirm that you are doing the good thing to your patients, and they are getting the best results and the best doctors too. That's it.
One of the things that you said was that people were using the product a lot. And when physicians are trying to generate revenue in their practice and they do expenditures of devices, there's a return on investment. I find that the return on investment in this is on the order of, for average folks, 6 to 8 weeks, sometimes less. To me, that's unheard of. Unheard of, to get a return on your money in less than 2 months. So, this is the whole picture. The whole picture is the science is real, the company backing it is real, and the finances are real. what I'd like to do is bring back up Dr. Stephen Moore. Thank you guys once again. Let's give him a